Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 6 in season number 6 of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill Truck Series. We are here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's the K&N 200 here on this Friday night. It's going to be an interesting race, only 34 laps around the Charlotte Motor Speedway, this 1.5 mile speedway in Concord, North Carolina. But for the first time ever here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, we're going to have pit stops. They're going to happen probably around lap 22, 23. That's a rough guess. Of course, I know at Atlanta we didn't guess correctly, but we will have pit stops in this race, and that can definitely shake things up with regards to who gets the race victory. I'm alongside Cody Sill once again, and Cody, after what we saw at Atlanta of how fast that race went, do you think we're going to have another caution-free race here tonight? A very similar racetrack in Charlotte.
Those tracks are very similar, but I would have to say no. Charlotte just got a little bit more feel. It's the home. You know, a lot of the teams are around here. This is a important race for these drivers. I feel like we're going to have a very wild and entertaining race. And help us out here with the call is my friend Zach Defelski. Zach, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm really honored to be here commentating tonight here for the Charlotte truck race. I'm looking forward to it. And, yeah, I think it's going to be a great one. We just come off of the last mile and a half at Atlanta. You mentioned it, Cody. They are 2 mile and a half, but they're totally different. One, I'd say Atlanta is not as crazy as Charlotte may get. And we got pit stops in the equation here, too, so that's going to shake everything up. We'll see how it goes tonight. But I'm looking forward to commentating it with you guys.
And I am very glad to have you guys alongside me. It is going to be a great show here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We had a great race last week at Rockingham with Dan Park leading 43 of the 50 laps to come home with the race win, but he had to earn it ahead of Nicholas Samadillo. And speaking of both of those drivers, they're both now top 5 in points. And of course, we're still early on in the season in the Strict Points Championship, but one guy has been up top pretty much this entire season. That's McAngelo and the Wangwu, 146 points towards the championship for the number 78. Fisher G is 3 points behind. He's been one of the most consistent drivers all season. He might actually have a better average finishing position than the Wangwu up to this point. Dan Park, who won last week, 16 points behind. Madison Tall, who won at Atlanta 2 weeks ago, 26 points behind. And Mr. Edge himself, Nicholas Samadillo, 2 straight top 5 finishes for Samadillo. He's 30 points behind coming into tonight's event. Matthew Logan in the number 69 will be starting on the pole position alongside Sebastian Cucalon. And then we have Shane Lake and Eric Monaco in row number 2. McAngelo and the Wangwu there, our points leader, starting 5th. A great run for him in qualifying. He's going to be starting alongside Trey Smith in row number 3. Chris Skinlark and last year's champion John Arndt in the 05. Matt Tuck and Ace Garcia rounding out the top 10 starting positions here tonight in the K&N 200. Going to ask both of you guys. I know Cody knows these drivers a little bit more, but I want to see if Zach can get a pick for this race as well. But I'll start off with you, Cody. Who's going to be in victory lane here tonight at Charlotte?
I feel like, you know, it's a tough pick, but I got to go with McAngelo. I feel like he's got a fast truck. He's going to be the one to watch, and I think that we could see him in victory lane after everything's done.
All right, and I like Shane Lake. You see him starting there on row 2 in the 3rd position. That's a great starting spot here for Charlotte, and I think he's going to be in good position, and I think he'll do good when the pit strategy comes into play. I think he's going to be my one to watch. He's my pick to win tonight.
2 very interesting picks right there. We'll have to see who gets it done. I'm going to put my money on John Arndt. All-time winningest driver on that pen, going for his 21st career win here tonight. He's going to have a shot in that 05 along with everybody else. It's going to be a wild one, only 34 laps. Pace car is off. We're green flag racing here at Charlotte in the K&N 200.
Green flag is out, and they'll go right, almost 3 wide right off the bat. Down, and they will stretch it to 3 wide.
He got that slightly better start there, and he's going to nose under them, and he's going to have a good advantage going into 3 down the back here.
Kukon's going to be the biggest loser out of this one as he slides up on the outside. And here comes...
Oh, in the wall hard!
Oh!
That's Matthew Logan. We got a big wreck in turn number 2.
Oh,
And that
man.
3 wide simply did not work out. Chris Skinlart's around. Cole Sampson, Joe Rutkowski around. More drivers on the wall. Sam Adio, Chase
They're
Marks,
still wrecking.
Joshua
Oh my
Rush, Owen Miles. And it's a huge wreck on the first lap of the race here at Charlotte.
Oh,
Oh,
man. They were
goodness.
still not done wrecking.
That had to be at least involved at least half the field. That was unbelievable.
Who saw that coming?
That caught me by surprise.
The leaders there, you got your row 1 stars that got forced into 3 wide, and going into turn 3, that just did not work. I thought they were going to be able to do it just fine, but no, lap 1 instant here, and it's a big one.
A lot of drivers taken out, including our pole sitter, Matthew Logan, who did not get a good jump on the start. And we saw what happened right there with Shane Lake. He moved 3 wide to the inside. Logan just simply didn't get going. It's almost like he missed a shift or something. But he was the control car. And had to follow him. And it didn't really work out too well for a lot of guys. Rutkowski with damage. A lot of guys from the back. Actually, a lot of these guys probably were involved in the accident. They're coming down now. They're still going to have to make another stop in this race. Owen Miles is all torn up in the 34. And we don't have many guys who were not involved in that accident. But our 3 picks are 1, 2, 3 right now. Shane Lake, McAnslow, the Wangwu, and John Arndt, the top 3. And, of course, our leaders stayed out, so don't have to worry about those guys coming down the pit lane. I imagine a lot of these guys will be able to continue, but a massive accident to start off this event here tonight. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution on the first lap of the race in the K&N 200.
I didn't think Shane Lake was actually going to go to the inside, but he barely knows his way in there, and he decided to take it.
Yeah, he pushed the top 2 right up there. I feel like Kuklon really just kind of got shoved out and really had no say in this, and then just right there. Man.
Really ahead of all this where it really gets bad. Chris Skinlard in the 12 got clipped by Eric Monaco, and all heck broke loose after that. And they don't stop. They just keep on running into people. One of those unfortunate things about this racetrack. This might be the last time we use this version of Charlotte. Might be moving to the 2018 version next year, but yeah, that's what happened in real time. Let's get you guys a slow motion replay here from Charlotte. And we theorize he spun his tires on the start of the race. Shane Lake got right to the inside of him, and he forced the 24. 3 wide on the outside, and at the start of the race is when everyone is the closest, and Kukulon had nowhere to go. Logan moving up into him. It's right here, though. The 69 gets into the 79 of Eric Monaco. Monaco getting loose through the corner, coming down on Chris Skinlart. And then Trey Smith in the 35 gets caught up as well, and the rest is history right there. John Arndt, Matt Tuck avoid this one for the most part, but the track gets clogged up right here. Owen Miles in the 34, getting in the Alexander Rowe, getting in the Ace Garcia. Joe Rutkowski getting spun there. Fisher G got in the Cole Sampson. And you're going to see a few guys on the outside avoid this.
Like one driver though, right there.
Yeah, right up there.
Yeah.
Edwin Mendez, it's Seth Cole, Joshua Rush, and right there, Sam Adio and Chase Marks got collected. And then Chase Marks hits Eli Bright as Eli Bright was spinning Jesse Turner around. Turner's going to be all right. I think a lot of these guys are going to be all right. Some of them are not, but a lot of these guys who got spun around should be fine. And then Chase Marks gets hit by Owen Miles, and then Ace Garcia runs into him. And then Sam Adio gets spun around again. I think. He might not. Might not have. I think he was good to go. But someone else is spinning through the grass was Jesse Turner.
I think one driver that is counting his lucky stars is that we saw in the 9, Zachary Fitzwater. Got I think
right
he was,
there. That's huge right there. Chris Skinlart.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right into Owen Miles. And then you see Ace Garcia, not Matt Tuck. Matt Tuck avoided this one. Ace Garcia up there as well. And Jason Tucker got stuck with Joe Rutkowski. I think Rutkowski is going to be fine. He just was stuck on the transition of the banking. But yeah, that was a wild first lap. Didn't quite expect that to happen. A lot of these races we've had here at Charlotte have gone caution-free before. Not tonight. Caution on the first lap of the race. I think we're done review on that one. Shane Lake, the race leader. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the K&M 200. We're back here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, ready to restart on lap 6 of 34, and hopefully that'll be the only wreck of the night. Shane Lake, the race leader, McAngelo in the Wangwoo, John Arndt, Matt Tuck, Nick Smith, top 5. Take a look and see who got knocked out. One car a lap down. That's Joe Rutkowski in the 64. Remember, he got stuck on the transition. Other than that, I think the rest of these guys are out of the race. Owen Miles, Ace Garcia, Chris Skinlard, pole sitter Matthew Logan, Agar Barretto, Josh Williamson, Jason Tucker, and Chase Marks. All on the first lap of the race.
So this race is going to be intense and wild, and man, they proved it on that first lap.
And one thing, too, I think the high downforce on these trucks keeps them close together. I mean, that was the first lap. That could have happened in any series, but I don't know. I'm glad we have a single-file restart to sort things out a little bit better here on the restart. Shane Lake has led every lap so far. Back to racing at Charlotte.
Down into turn number 1, Shane Lake here wasting no time trying to pull away, but McAngelo right behind him. And I do believe that's John Arndt behind them. And now well, here goes McAngelo underneath Lake. Side by side at his door, and he'll clear him here off the turn 4 and through the tri-oval, and he will lead this lap. Oh, well.
Yep, he barely got it. Bonus point to McAngelo and the Wangwoo and the number 78, but Shane Lake going to power on the outside and clear him off at turn 2.
Oh, that's great driving on the outside.
And we're going to see that throughout the night here at Charlotte. Outside lane worked last night in the Krispy Kreme Series race, and those cars race very similarly to these trucks, so I'd expect something very similar here tonight. Skylar Perry in third. Dan Park won a Craftsman Throwback Series race here in a truck back in May. So watch out for him going for 2 in a row here. And the driver who won in Atlanta, Madison Toll's up here as well. They're all trying to find a way around Shane Lake, and Shane Lake's looking pretty strong in the number 77. You know how to pick a good driver, Zach. Shane Lake, the dominant guy so far here in the K&N 200.
Yeah, and you mentioned this high downforce package. You can already see how it really packs this entire front field together 2 by 2, pretty much everywhere you can see.
And it's really amazing here to take it all in. And I'm surprised we have this many trucks running together, considering how many trucks were involved in that wreck. I guess, like you said, Napa, it wasn't really too many that really got too much damage, but this is the racing that we expect.
It is. We have, I think, 19 drivers in this lead pack right now. And then you go back past the lead pack. You got Cole Sampson in the number 91. Sebastian Cuccolone was actually initially involved in an accident. Is still in lead lap. Eli Bright, Adam Garcia back in there. Sam Medillo, not a good run for him, but he pulled some strategy at Atlanta to get a good finish. He might be able to do that again. Eric Monaco there. Zachary Fitzwater accumulated some damage there. He's 6 seconds off. 35 of Trey Smith is going to be an issue. He's going to be lapped here very soon. And Joe Rutkowski, already a lap down, has fallen off from the pack quite a bit. All but 1 lap so far in this race have been led by Shane Lake, who started 3rd. Seth Cole and Dan Park are now side by side for 2nd. Skylar Perry is here, trying to take 3rd away from Dan Park, but Seth Cole moving his way to the 2nd position. And the number 52, great run for him there. Trying to get his 4th win of the year on Napa Fan. 3-time winner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series earlier this season.
Yeah, you know, he's right now just following the tracks of Lake. Looking at a little bit of different line. Well, here he comes.
Big run there.
And that's what we see off the corner quite a bit. McAngelo and the Wangwoo powering through the middle. He had a really good run off at turn number 2 right there. Skylar Perry's going to try to get to the inside of Shane Lake, and this is the kind of racing I like about Charlotte. These guys get runs on the outside and all that, and here we go. Trey Smith, lap car, going to hold up the lead pack. Seth Cole trying to find a way around him. They got to be careful getting around this slow number 35, because if they're not, we could see another wreck, and you can see how bunched up that pack gets because of this 35 machine.
Oh, no, that is close. He's holding up the entire outside lane. They're going really tight, 3 wide back there.
Shane Lake is one of those guys stuck behind him. They're going to go 3 wide again, entering turn number 3. Hopefully Shane Lake does not move up on him, and thankfully he will not. But a lot of these guys losing a ton of ground to the race leader, Trey Bartow, in the one. Got clipped off of Andrew Ross. They're 4 wide through the double dog leg, and they save it.
There's no way that's what's going to work.
Andrew Ross, last year's runner-up in the championship, showing him why he's a championship-caliber driver right there. He got into it with Trey Bartow, and thankfully, they saved it. So we're still green, somehow, here at Charlotte. Back to the race lead. Skylar Perry is gone around Seth Cole. Got a new race leader here at Charlotte. And we're not even halfway through this race yet, and we've seen all this crazy stuff happen so far.
Talk about the pass in the grass. That was a save in the grass. That's just unbelievable. I don't know how he did that. That was great driving, like you said, runner up. It's showing championship capability driving right there.
That's great driving. That's something I would nominate for SC Top 10 right there. That was amazing.
So Trey Bartow also did a good job in that save. Of course, Trey Bartow's been driving on Napafan since the first race on Napafan, so you know he's going to be good. And Andrew Ross as well, also a high-caliber driver. We saw that last season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series while he was a rookie. And he's doing a good job right there for Railfan Motorsports. Railfan Motorsports right there, the owner of Bradley Ream, doing a good job this season, and they did a good job avoiding a wreck right there. Seth Cole's gone back to the race lead, and now Fisher G, who has been the most consistent driver all season, only 3 points behind McAngelo and the Wangwu, going to take the race lead away from Seth Cole. He almost got the win last week at Rockingham. Could not hold on there, only led 1 lap as Dan Park got back around him, but he want to get this one. If he's going to get the opportunity, he's going to take it. He's going to clear for the race lead. He's got to get around Joe Rakowski, however. Here comes Skylar Perry for the race lead. And at the line, Fisher G's going to get a bonus point towards the championship for leading a lap, but he's going to get stuck behind Rakowski on the outside lane.
So win-lose right there. Gets the bonus point, though, but then loses the lead here, thanks to Rakowski. And will continue to fall back. Could this now jumble up him again? Kind of. See Lake up there high.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh.
Joshua Rush coming down the pit lane. And we're just past halfway in this race as well. I don't believe these guys came down. But they're going to begin the green flag cycle, and this is another thing that we could see. It's a caution or a wreck that happens during the green flag cycle. It's a very difficult pit lane to get down. And if one guy makes a mistake, it could cause the caution, and it could lap a lot of guys who were dominant in this race. Skylar Perry leads. Dale Lightning. Jesse Turner's up here in the 75. Edwin Mendez. Seth Cole. Nick Smith all down the pit lane. And knock on wood, they're doing pretty good right now getting on the pit lane here for the green flag set of pit stops.
If they had pitted a few laps earlier, man, we could have been seeing a close battle for fuel mileage, but it looks like they're able to hold it out a little bit more. And now, like you said, the main part is no wrecks. As long as there can be no wrecks and they get on cleanly and everything, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, when you pit early, you absolutely don't want to see the caution because that just absolutely ruins everything. You are going to get jumbled up. Who knows where, probably a lap or 2 down. And people are pitting later, a couple laps, maybe hope for caution, but either way, in the pitting cycle, you don't want to see the caution because that just jumbles up the field a bunch.
Well, Emily Anderson is the race leader, but she's going to come down right here. Adam Garcia will. Sam Medeia's going to come down. And there is Skylar Perry in the number 45, who has come out as the effective race leader once this whole thing cycles through. Seth Cole in second, Dale Lightning, Fisher G, Matthew Brown, Edwin Mendez, and it is massively spread out right now through the field. There's Emily Anderson in the number 37. She is going to be a lot farther behind than what she initially wanted. Really split strategy off a lot of these guys, but there's Dan Park coming off ahead of Skylar Perry. And the big winner out of all that was Dan Park, who's going to take the race lead once they cycle through right here. He's going for 2 in a row here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series and 2 Charlotte victories in the same year. We'll see if the cycle completes right there. It has not. So I'm wondering if Emily Anderson is actually going to be the race leader. I think she might have lapped those guys. So Anderson coming off, and she is on the lead lap right here with these 4 guys coming in fast. Dan Park on the outside of Emily Anderson, going to take the lead away. And Dan Park's going to get a lap led here at Charlotte. A bonus point towards the championship for last week's winner. Oh, these pit cycles always confuse me, but I think we got it right there. Dan Park, the race leader at Charlotte.
And now Dan is hoping to just hold off the 45 of Skylar Perry. But Skylar's been so quick, I don't know if Dan can hold him off.
We're going to have to see if that's the case. Skylar Perry's never won before a Napa fan. Dan Park is a Napa fan veteran, and he took the pick. Eric Monaco's on the inside, and he made sure Skylar Perry was right there on the inside, so he could not get around him. And a great move by Dan Park. He's now pulling away for the race lead.
Yeah, I think he saw that ahead going into 3 and 4 there, and he set that up going on the outside, letting him get to the inside of him.
Now, let's not count out some of these guys right here. Emily Anderson, Seth Cole. I mean, the draft is a major factor. Even though it's 1.5 miles, it's a major factor at this place. And even lap traffic right there. Dan Park got held up by Trey Smith. And here comes Skylar Perry, Emily Anderson, Seth Cole. Watch out for these guys in the second pack as well. Matthew Brown in the 57. Your owner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Cody Sill, by the way. Fisher G, Dale Lightning. Adam Garcia has found his way inside the top 10. He lost the draft after the restart. Was involved in the accident. He's right now in the top 10. Edwin Mendez and Trey Bartow. They also have a shot at this race victory if they can stay in the single file line. However, time is not on their side. Less than 10 laps to go here in the K&N 200. Dan Park continuing to lead the race. Emily Anderson trying to get to the inside. Skylar Perry remaining in second.
Yeah, and this lap traffic becoming a very big factor later in this race. A lot of movement. Dan seemed to have a pretty fast truck right now, trying to pull away. He also set Adam Garcia now here in the top 10. He played the strategy, pitted the same lap that Emily did. So that was a great move by him. Obviously not where Emily is, but still a good move there. So here goes Skylar Perry underneath Dan for the lead out of 2.
Emily Anderson looking to the inside for the race lead. It's her 3rd season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. She's never won a race in this series before. She knows the opportunity is here tonight. And she's going to the inside on lap 27. We have ourselves only 6 laps to go. 7 laps to go, I should say. Here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for Emily Anderson, new race leader. And they're all bunched up here in the top 6. Emily Anderson, Seth Cole, Matthew Brown, Fisher G, Skylar Perry, and Dan Park all in the mix for this race victory.
Yeah, this sold out crowd's on their feet now, coming down to the wire. All these leaders packed up, jumped up together here as Emily Anderson's in the lead.
Emily Anderson, man. Madison Toll won at Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that she was kind of a out of nowhere one, but she won that on strategy as well. So this could be back-to-back 1.5 miles where strategy is the big player.
Shane Lake has had an issue. Remember, he was dominant early on, and that 77 is not exactly where it needs to be. Already a lap down, going to go 2 laps down right there. Only 23 drivers on the lead lap. They're going to get around Eric Monaco at some point, and Dan Park got held up tremendously by the 77. That's going to hurt Park's chances of winning this race. Seth Cole to the inside for the race lead on Emily Anderson side by side down the backstretch.
Dead even into 3. We've seen the outside work sometime tonight. We'll see if Emily Anderson can get anything out of it, but no.
She's not going to be able to hold it, but here comes Seth Cole. Seth Cole has the lead here with just a few laps remaining. This is, I mean, I wouldn't say Seth Cole's got it, but he's in a good position right now on how he spaced himself out. About 2.5 car lengths, I would say, or 1.5.
One thing I will say, Fisher G has positioned himself into a good place to be the points leader at the end of this one. Of course, he came in only 3 points behind McAngelo and Nwangwu. Still a great run for Nwangwu in 11th right now. And another great run for Sam Medeo. Sam Medeo's inside the top 15. So he played strategy to move his way through the field. Great job by Sam Medeo and that team right there for Gardner Motorsports. But the way it's looking right now, it's looking like Fisher G is going to be the new points leader heading into Watkins Glen next week. A great run for Fisher G here tonight. Looks like it might be another top 5 for the Big Names Motorsport team. But Seth Cole for Lone Wolf Motorsports. Jeremiah Earls, the owner of this team, looking to get Seth Cole's first win in the trucks. We got 2 laps to go here at Charlotte. We'll have to see if he can hold off Matthew Brown and Emily Anderson for the race win. A great run through turn 2 as he's pulling away down the backstretch.
Down the backstretch, Seth Cole looking in his mirror, making sure no runs get. It's going to be white flag this time by the final lap here of the K&N 200. It's been a wild one. The first lap wreck, the pit strategy. Emily Anderson has found herself now running in second with Fisher G, who's been very consistent so far early in the season. Seth Cole out of turn 2. He is looking down the backstretch one more time.
Emily Anderson trying to get a run on the 52. She's got some speed right there entering the corner. Will she get a last lap pass on Seth Cole? We'll have to see at the line. Give it to Seth Cole. 4th win of the year on Napa Fan for Mr. NOFSRL himself. And he gets the win for Jeremiah Earls ahead of Emily Anderson here in the K&N 200 at Charlotte.
Wow. See, I saw Emily Anderson catching up there on the final lap. I didn't think she was going to have a shot. I thought she might. And she definitely got the shot, just coming up very just short there. But great job for Seth Cole in getting the win here.
Seth Cole is been around for, I do believe, a while, so he knows what he's doing.
For
and
Seth
that
Cole,
was a great finish.
Seth Cole has not won before prior to 2019 on Napa Fan. His first Napa Fan win came in the NOFSRL 500 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in June. So it hasn't been that long since his first career win, but now he's already at 4 total wins on Napa Fan. His first in the Truck Series. Seth Cole, the race winner. Emily Anderson almost got it. If there was one more lap in this race, she would have won the race. Matthew Brown, another top 5 for Fisher G. Skylar Perry rounding out the top 5, and then you see right there of the 63 machine of Edwin Mendez. But 2 guys I really am impressed with right there. McAngelo and Nwangwu and Nicholas Samadio both getting top 10 runs, as you see the official standings right there. And I am really impressed with all these guys who are up there in the points standings. Nwangwu, Fisher G, and Nicholas Samadio all got top 10s here tonight at Charlotte. Further solidifying their positions as being championship contenders this season. Other guys like Dan Park. Dan Park also got a top 10, finished in the 7th position. The only driver top 5 in points that did not get a top 10 was Madison Toll. She finished 16th, but we do have a new points leader. That is definitely going to be Fisher G. But how about that race, guys? I mean, Emily Anderson almost got it, but Seth Cole able to hold on and get the race victory here in the K&M 200.
Yeah, I'd say I was impressed with Emily Anderson there in the end. She wasn't really a threat in the early half of the race, but ever since the pit cycle through, she was there up front for the entire last stint of the race, racing to the finish, coming out of nowhere kind of on strategy. So good job for them with strategy on pit road and getting out to the front there, being able to contend for the win late.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, strategy works so well. We saw it at Atlanta. We see it again tonight at Charlotte. It's really big thing. It could win races and, you know, help a lot of finishes. I think one driver to watch throughout this season, though, is going to be Fisher G. Consistency is what wins championships. It's probably one of the biggest things that helps win championships. And if he can staying consistent, getting these top 5s, top 10s, even top 15s, I mean, we could be looking here at champion right now.
Well, Fisher G already has 5 top 10s this season, as you can see right there with the points. But he only has a 2-point lead now. McAngelo and the Wangwu. 4 top 5 for Fisher G, though. That is incredible. Great job out of that team so far this season. Dan Park, 16 points behind. Exactly how he came into this race. Nicholas Samidio actually lost a couple of points, but he gained a position. He's 34 points behind. And Matt Stolfeld 36 points behind after tonight's event. But same top 5 in points for the first time this season. No new drivers moving their way in the top 5 in point standings after a third of the way through the season. So we'll have to see who stays consistent throughout this season as we head on to Watkins Glen next weekend. That's going to be the one and only road course of the season, and you are definitely not going to want to miss that one. The Lake Effect Ice Cream 175 on the 3.4-mile road course. We skip the chicane and go through the boot. My favorite road course in 2003. We're going to have a great one there next Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on Napa Fan. But thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Seth Cole, your race winner here in the K&N 200. And thank you very much to Cody and Zach for joining me here tonight. Great to have Zach for the first time ever. Great job on the co-commentating. Definitely would love to do this again with you at some point soon. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week from Watkins Glen, Krispy Kreme Series and Turkey Hill Truck Series, heading to the Glen for the 7th race of the season in the Truck Series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.